Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we just got some reveals for Premium Pack 2025. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out these new reveals. So we do have new Magistus support, DD support, and we also have a new Bandit Keith card. So let's go ahead and check out and see what these cards actually do. And these cards will be released inside of the Premium Pack 2025. So let's go ahead and see what these cards actually do. So first off, we do have a new Crowley monster from Magistus. Let's go ahead and see what this card actually does. I love the artwork of this card already. So this card is called Crowley the Gifted of Magistus. And this card is a level 4 dark spellcaster effect monster with 1800 attack and 1000 defense points, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn, which is totally fine because it has some insane effects. So let's go ahead and see what this card actually does. So for the first effect, if this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it. So it's basically a popular that you can instantly summon out to your side of the field if you search it, which is super easy to do in Magistus. So this card is absolutely broken already because the deck really did need an extender to be able to instantly get a monster out on your side of the field. So I really like this card overall, and that's great support already. For the second effect, if this card is normally special summon, you can fusion summon a Magistus or invoked fusion monster from your extract using monsters in your hand or field as material. This card is an instant polymerization. What? That's insane, because it actually fuses the invoked archetype into Magistus, so you can actually summon Makaba to establish a negate. That is so good. And we already have light monsters in the deck to be able to use, like Madame Veer, to be able to step into. You even have Artemis, which is a Link 1 that you can use. That's so good. That's so insane to be able to just instantly go in for a fusion play by summoning this thing out to your side of the field. And for the third effect, if this face of the card is used as a fusion material, it can be treated as Alistair the Invoker. Are you kidding me? So we can basically just use this card as Alistair to be able to step into a fusion play, which is insane. So now we're going to be playing Invoked Magistus by playing 3 copies of Meltdown, 3 copies of Alistair, 2 copies of Invocation, and 2 copies of this to be able to search it out so we can go in for Makaba or Purgatrio or anything that we want to go in for our fusion plays and just go in for game. I really like this card overall, and that's actually great support. It's probably like a 2 of, to be honest with you guys, because you want to search it from your deck and then special summon it. You don't want to normal summon this thing, but that's really good to instantly summon this card out to your side of the field. And I love the artwork of it, how you see the planets behind him. That's really cool. This is actually insane support. This is broken. Okay. So for the next one, we do have another new card, and this card is called Veer Magic Lacrima of Light, and that does appear to be Madame Veer, which is super cool. Not sure what she's fighting, but that's actually really cool that we finally see Madame Veer using her magic, which is really neat, because her magic is actually glass, which is really interesting. This actually makes it a part of the Spellbook archetype as well, or not Spellbook archetype, but Spellbook lore, which is really cool because they're all based in the same universe as the Spellbook cards because of the Witchcrafter buy street. You can actually see it, which is really, really neat, but it's amazing that they're actually tying all these archetypes together, which is just super, super cool. So let's go ahead and see what this card actually does. So this card is called Veer Magic Lacrima of Light, quick play spell card, and this card is always treated as a Magistus and a Witchcrafter card. So now we're tying the Witchcrafter archetype into Magistus, which is awesome. So you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. Okay, so for this card's effect, if you control a Magistus or a Witchcrafter monster, send a Spellcaster monster or a spell card from your deck to the grave. That is insane to instantly send a spell to your graveyard. That is so good to be able to do in so many different instances inside of Witchcrafter and Magistus, but mainly in Witchcrafter to instantly get the exact spell card you need so you can recover it back and keep going in your plays. That is so good to be able to do. But being a Foolish Burial is actually really nice. Okay, for the second effect, when your opponent activates a card or effect, special summon a Magistus or a Witchcrafter monster in your hand or deck. You've got to be kidding me. They've got an E-Telly now. That is so good. Like, why did you even make this when we added it? We just special summoned it when this could have just special summoned it anyways. That is insane. They now have 2 new extenders for Magistus, and Witchcrafter also gets a new extender, which is insane. This is actually really good support for both archetypes, because now they both have an E-Telly, essentially, that if your opponent does anything, like anything at all, you can quick play summon a Magistus or a Witchcrafter. So you can actually summon like Madame Veer directly from the deck in Witchcrafter, which is insane to get your big boss monster out on your side of the field if your opponent does anything, because then she can just go into defense position and just cold wave the field, which is insane. Plus, in Magistus, you can get out the exact monster you need, so you can go in for your fusion plays, you can summon out all sorts of different stuff in the deck, which is so cool. And what's really insane is when your opponent activates a card or effect, so that means even if they hand trap you, you can go in for a play, which is crazy. This is actually really good support for both archetypes. And overall, this card's going to be a 3 of. Definitely a 3 of. I could definitely see Crowley being like a 2 of, maybe. I don't think you need more than 2 because it is a search summon. So this card is basically popular. So probably a 2 of. I think it's probably a 2 of. Okay, but it's really good. It's really good because it does count as Alistair. It's a walking polymerization, and it's a free special summon if you search it. So this is really good. Okay. So for the next cards, we do have new DD support. So let's go ahead and talk about these cards, because we actually have 2 new Pendulum monsters. So let's go ahead and check these cards out. So first off, this card is called DD Count Surveyor, and this card looks amazing. It almost, to me, looks like Stardust Dragon a little bit, which is kind of weird, with like a microscope for a head, which is kind of weird, but hey, it's from the manga. The manga's weird. If you guys haven't read any of the Yu-Gi-Oh mangas, you probably should. They're a real trip, and they're really interesting. So you should definitely check them out, because they have some amazing monsters, and some of the players that you enjoy play different decks, but they also sometimes play similar decks, but they have different monsters. So let's go ahead and see what this card actually does. So this card is a Dark Fiend Pendulum Effect monster. That's a scale 1, level 8, 2000 attack, 2000 defense. Pretty interesting stats, but it is a scale 1, which is pretty nice to be able to use in DD. Okay, so this card is a Pendulum Effect monster, and its Pendulum Effect is for the first effect, quick effect, or once per turn. If you Pendulum summon a DDD monster or monsters, you can target 3 monsters your opponent controls with the same type or attribute as each other, which a lot of decks play the same type and attributes is actually going to go off probably a lot. Tribute 2 of those face-up monsters, and if you do, the other gains attack and events equal to the total attack and events the tributed monsters had on the field. That is really good to be able to just instantly tribute 2 monsters on the field, and then basically increase one's attack and defense by the tributed monsters, because you're kind of sort of like have a Pendulum Nibiru. Like, that's really insane, because it's just getting rid of 2 monsters off the field instantaneously, more like a Lava Golem almost, which is insane. That if you Pendulum summon, you can tribute the monsters, which is pretty cool to be able to do overall. And I really like that it's a scale 1, but it's a really interesting support card for DD overall, because it does out boards and it breaks boards. So if your opponent doesn't respond to this, it's basically just going to break their board and just out 2 monsters off the field. Now it has a little bit of restriction, so it's not absolutely broken, because they do have to be the same type or attribute to be able to tribute those monsters, and 3 of them have to match to be able to actually tribute. So that's kind of interesting overall, and I really like it because it's a very unique ability. So for its monster effect, you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, you can discard one other DD monster to special summon this card from your hand. That's a pretty good effect to instantly get this card out on your side of the field, especially since it's a level 8, because the deck kind of did need more extenders. So this is actually pretty cool. So for the second effect, if this card is normal or special summon, which it special summons itself with its first effect, you can actually add a DD monster with 0 attack and defense from your deck to hand. Okay, this card's instantaneously a 3 of. That is insane. Okay, no, instantaneously a 3 of. You didn't even have to have a Pendulum effect. Okay, this card is instantly searching Kepler. That is instantly searching Kepler or Copernicus. That is insane. Okay, that is insane, because it literally gives you 3 more Rotos for the deck, or basically a Stratos, that all you have to do is discard a card, get a free body on the field, and then search out your Kepler, normal summon Kepler, search out the other thing that you want, and then link for Gilgamesh and set your scales. That's really good. This card is instantaneously a 3 of, and that is absolutely broken. Okay, first effect, wasn't convinced this card was going to be bad. Okay, second effect, that's really good for a monster effect. You're probably not going to scale this very often unless you want to scale it with Gilgamesh to get that scale 1, but that's pretty good. Okay, so let's check out the new one, or the other new one. This card looks very much like Frieza, I have to say. It does look a lot like Frieza with like a pillar for a head, which is weird. It looks like a ruler. Like, that looks like a ruler. That's really weird. Okay, so DD Scale Surveyor. Okay, so this card is a Dark Fiend Pendulum Effect monster. Scale 9, level 2, 0 attack, 1000 defense. Pendulum effect, and you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, during the standby phase, you can target up to 2 cards in your pendulum zone, and their pendulum scale becomes 0 until the end of the turn. It has to be during the standby phase, not very broken, because it's a little slow to basically change your pendulum scale. That's kind of weird, but it is a scale 9. It is a scale 9, so you can pendulum summon out your level 8 monsters, like your copy of your big DDD monster in the main deck, because it's actually pretty good to be a scale 9 in DDD. Okay, so for its other effect, this card has 3 other effects. Oh my god. Okay, you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. Okay, if you control a DD Pendulum monster card, you can special summon this card in your hand. Okay, that's really good. You can just instantly throw this card out on your side of the field. That's pretty good to be an extender. Okay, so for the second effect, if this card is normal or special summon, you can make this card's level become 4. Again, really good effect, because it instantly becomes 4 to help you go in for your fusion, or not your fusion, your synchro plays, or your XZ plays. That's really good to be able to level manipulate this card to level 4, because the deck does have quite a few rank 4s that you can instantly summon out to your side of the field. So that's actually pretty good. I like that. Okay, so for the other effects, if this card is sent to the graveyard or added to the X deck face up, you can target a DD Pendulum monster card you control and return it back to your hand, which is kind of okay, so you can kind of scale it, which is kind of neat. So I guess they're basically doing with this one, like, you want to summon this card out first to your side of the field, and then once you summon this card out to your side of the field, or you can basically just instantly scale this back once you summon it, which is kind of weird. But it does have 0 attack, so you can search it with your copy of the Count, which is kind of neat to instantly search this card, because if it's normal or special summon, you can add a DD monster with 0 attack or defense from your deck to your hand, so you can instantly grab this, and then once you summon this card out to your side of the field, it becomes level 4, which kind of is cool. I like that as well. That's a really cool ability, and it actually gives the deck a lot more utility, because it is an extender. Because if you control a DD Pendulum monster, you just instantly special summon it, and if it's special summon, it comes level 4, which is really nice. So you're basically getting 2 monsters to instantly go in for your copy of Gilgamesh, which is insane. So for the next new cards, we do have a new Bandit Keith card, which is insane. Oh, by the way, this card, probably like a 1 of, maybe. This card's probably a 3 of. This card's definitely a 3 of. Okay, so we do have a new Bandit Keith card. Let's go over this one. So for the new Bandit Keith card, this card is called Motor Kaiser. Okay, and this card looks amazing. This is from the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga, which I hope eventually gets animated. It's awesome. If you guys have not read Yu-Gi-Oh! R, you definitely should. It's amazing. It's only like 5 mangas, but it's insane. Okay, so this card is actually, what if we bolted a motor and heavy metal raiders together? Okay, that's a really good start to this. I love the artwork of it, and I love the colors of it. I love the green. That looks really cool. Okay, so what does this do? This card is a level 5 Dark Machine effect monster, so it's going to require a tribute or a weird way to summon it out, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, immediately resolves, normal summon a Dark Machine. That's really good, so we get an instant normal summon. That's really insane, so you can just hold this card in your hand, reveal it, normal summon a different card to your side of the field, or reveal it and normal summon itself, which is pretty good. Also, it has the ability, you can target 1 monster you control, destroy it, and then you can special summon an engine token that is a Machine Earth, level 1, 200 attack and 200 defense in attack position. But this card's dark, which is kind of weird that it doesn't summon a dark token to your side of the field. It kind of messes up some plays because it's not dark overall, but it's an interesting card. I really like this card overall. It is a Bandit Keith card, and he did play it during or Yu-Gi-Oh! R, which is really cool, and overall a nice new Dark Machine card. So I really like this card. I'm not sure where it's going to fit, but it's really cool to be able to see. Maybe, probably not an Orcus, because like they already have enough extenders, but kind of okay, because you do have a way to normal summon a Dark Machine. So we do have one other card, but we do not have the effect revealed for this card, but I'm really quickly going to go over this card, and this is a V-Jump card, but I didn't want to make a solitary video about this, so I wanted to be able to go over this card with you guys really quickly. But this is actually a new Endymion card, and it is tied into Magistus. So we have a new Invoked card, we have a new Witchcraft card, and we have a new Endymion card, which is really cool because they're setting up for something really big, I think, for the new cards. So this card is called Endymion, the Crescent of Magistus, and we have no effect on this card yet. When we do get an effect on this card, I will cover it, but it is probably one of the best artworks I've ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I love the moon in the background, and I believe that is Selene, which is really cool because she is like the queen of the Master Magicians, and in the lore, I believe she does end up with Endymion, which is kind of neat, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked too deep into the Endymion lore, but it's really insane to actually see them together on a card, and that's really, really insane. And I love the artwork of it because it looks so cool. And it is a Link 2 monster with a bottom right arrow and a left arrow, which is pretty interesting overall because Magistus doesn't really have any other Link monsters. So it's kind of interesting. They do have Artemis, but that's about it. So this is actually really good support for it. So hopefully, I'm hoping this is actually a searcher, because if it is a searcher, you can basically extend your plays and go into your copy of Selene and then climb and then climb and then climb through your plays, which is really cool because you can make like Artemis, use Artemis's ability, climb into this, and then climb into your copy of Selene, which is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for an extender, which would be really cool. But it does say a new Magistus Link monster based on Endymion's outfit as he prepares to go fight with Crowley. So there is some sort of skirmish going on between Crowley and Endymion in the lore. So we're going to see that when this effect goes off. So it's a Link monster with an effect that supports Magistus decks. I hope so. It's a Magistus card, and the full details will be revealed on December 7th, 2024. So be on the lookout for the video for that. We're going to definitely cover that soon when it does come out. So that's going to do for this one, guys. That is all the new support. We went over the new Magistus cards over here. We went over both the new Magistus cards. We went over the new DD cards. These are actually insane. These are broken. And we went over the new Motor Kaiser card, which you guys should definitely check out all of these as well. And they're really, really cool. So that's going to do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and there's soon come part notification squad. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.